At what point in the hobby did fish keeping become about fake plants, color gravel, and stupid ornaments? Today, I want to give you 8 killer tips in setting up a Blackwater biotope so you can go on and create a natural environment for your aquatic animals. Number 8, you are creating an ecosystem. Contrary to the belief of your normal fish keeper, for example, the one that goes to your local chain pet store, buys all the colored gravel, fake plants, sticks them in, gets a massive goldfish, has it in the corner of the room, doesn't really pay that much attention, maybe a bit of flake every now and then, but for the most part it's just there maybe for the kids, people that come round, or something nice to have in your home. But for true aquarists, then you are wanting to create a natural ecosystem for the animals that you keep. That goes from everything from the actual fish themselves or the shrimp to the microorganisms, the small copepods and other little animals that may live and graze in the rocks, the substrate, the plants themselves. So the idea of Blackwater or biotope aquariums is to try and take those elements from the natural habitats themselves and recreate those in your fish tanks. Number 7, you can use plants. Most people think that when you're setting up a Blackwater aquarium, you can't use plants because plants aren't found in nature apparently, but you can, and they grow really well in Blackwater setups, not as well as a aquarium with CO2, for example, or something that's very clear, because the tannins themselves will create a more darker environment, and that means less light coming through. But you can still grow plants. There's plenty that you can. Low light plants such as Anubias, Java fern. I've used personally Java. Moss grows like crazy. Jungle Vallisneria, Amazon swords are really great. There is so many plants that will grow, they just might take a little bit longer. Number 6, your fish will create natural behaviors. The one thing that's great about creating a natural environment for your fish is that the perks of it is that you will get those natural behaviors come out, whether it be the animals laying their eggs underneath, say, the leaf litter, for example, or if you replicate elements from nature, as I like to do. For example, my rainfall aquarium behind me, then you get to see some really nice natural behaviors as the rainfall season, say for example, starts. The fish respond in different ways, and that can also encourage spawning. So some great benefits there too. Number 5, it's not dirty, it's natural. Contrary to the belief that your aquarium has to be pristine and clear, because most people have them like that in their homes, when you actually take these animals and look at them in the wild, it's a completely different story. Most of the rivers that these fish come from are very murky and unclear. They also have a very dirty riverbed, for example. Everything that these fish need to thrive in the wild, and the murky water stops bigger predators from finding their fish. So it's a great thing to have a very murky water, and you should see more natural behaviors from your animals because they feel more relaxed in their homes. Number 4, take it slow. Most people, when they start to get the spark for a new type of project, for example, creating Blackwater aquariums, they will go out and buy all the leaves and the various botanicals that you can buy now in the hobby, put them into their fish tank, and then all of a sudden the next day there is a disaster on your hands because all your fish are dead. Now, one thing that you need to be careful of is the pH of your water. Now, when adding botanicals, it's very, very important that you go slow and just watch those pH levels, especially if you've got very soft water or a on the lower pH scale there, as opposed to people with hard water. But it's still important to just keep an eye on those pH levels so you don't cause any disasters for yourself. Number 3, research the locations of where these fish come from in the wild. There's some amazing videos out there of people that go and swim these rivers in the Amazon rainforest and India, Florida, all these type of really cool river streams, and it's just fascinating to see how they are in the wild, and it's something that you can use to inspire you to create those kind of things or bring elements of them into your home. Number 2, you can get stuff for free. Most people think that you need to spend loads of money buying botanicals and various different pods from lots of shops, but you can also get some of them in the areas that you live in. It depends where you are in the world, but you can go out foraging for the certain types of leaves or pods or cones that you might find. People in the UK, maybe take a walk into your local woods and see what you can find. The most important thing to remember is do your research, have a look online, because not everything that you can find can be used in an aquarium. Certain things like pine cones, for example, leach dangerous chemicals that can kill your fish. So you just got to be very careful about the type of items that you're using. If you've got any tips that you think I've missed out in this video, make sure you write them in the comments below to help other people that may be watching this video. And my last top tip for you is that when you buy botanicals, make sure that you boil them and soak them. Do not place them in your aquarium. Some people do, and some people have success with it, but I find the most safest method is to make sure that you're boiling, because if you do that, you're boiling any nasties and pollutants and chemicals that might be caught up wherever you've collected these items from or wherever you've bought them from. Most people and at most shops that you can buy these sort of products from nowadays, make sure that their items are from sustainable and pollutant-free locations, but you just never know. So if you're just taking that extra measure there to make sure that your items are prepped well, just as you would with, say, acclimating fish, you take that nice process and you make sure that you're very careful with how you introduce new things. These are also organic matter, so they can have an effect on your fish tank, so it's important to always make sure you boil them. If you're enjoying this kind of content, make sure you check out this list right here, which is a beginner's guide to Blackwater aquariums. So you got everything that you may need to know if you're just starting out in this side of the hobby right here. And until next time, you stay safe.